this is also, again, from Housingwire. Most prospective buyers want turnkey homes despite higher prices. So in a survey, and it's a MLS Market Intelligence, Bright MLS Market Intelligence survey. This was across like Delaware, Maryland, New Jersey, Pennsylvania, Virginia, West Virginia, and District of Columbia. Now, this isn't our backyard, but it's a large enough of a survey sample that it's worth talking about, and we can relate to some local sentiment, if you will. Okay. So most survey respondents were willing to compromise on size and location to avoid high price. So does that then mean that just price is the end all be all for everybody all the time?
No, I mean, it does kind of discuss it like that, but I don't think so. I think most people are looking, they understand right now is, instead of me going into a property and putting X amount, let me use you an example. I had a client that's looking in Riverside, right? He was okay with purchasing a home for $550,000. No, it was $650,000, but it needed at least $80,000 worth of work for it to be to his, standard. Well, down the street, there's a brand new home going for $50,000 more.
Huh.
So he's like, skip that. They didn't take my offer. They're lost. Let me just go to the new builder. Mm-hmm. And they have incentives that they can provide, right? Yeah. So I think people are just saying, like, I'd rather pay a little more and just make sure that I go in there and I don't have to worry about the paint, the this, the that, because it's just money. Money is expensive right now.
So is the short way of saying that it's like the convenience will win?
That absolutely.
Yeah, always. Okay, 100%. And then in this case, the byproduct of that also means that it's a resold house might not stand as much of a chance against this behavior set or this attitude as the brand new one, where maybe you, with the developer, can still pick the paint color, the type of counter, or the flooring you want because they're going to just customize it to you.
Because if you think about it, Andy, for every $10,000, I want to simplify, for every $10,000, it's about a $65 to $75 difference in payment. Right. Mm-hmm. But if you borrow on a credit card, $10,000, what would that payment be with the average interest rate right now being 22%?
Yeah, like hundreds of dollars a month.
You see what I'm saying? Yeah. So, and then it's not even a tax write-off. This way, all your interest is a tax write-off. So I think the smartest way to go is just pay a little more for that house that you have to, put less money into.
Some insights that I like that the article shared was that also that buyers took into consideration that renovation costs are also higher than what they used to be. Therefore, those $50,000-$80,000 that they'd have to come out of pocket, and then it's out. They rather finance that into their their monthly payment, which is a fraction of what they're dishing out, and pay that over time, and it makes more sense because they keep that cash in their pocket to do life, and they don't have to go fork it out after they did their down payment, their closing costs, and then now they're actually house poor, but they have a beautiful house. Yeah. But this way they they put it on the house, they make their payment monthly, and they get everything that they want while still be able to keep as much cash in there.
And you go in there now.
Yeah, right? And you go in there now. You don't have to wait. You don't have to do the renovations. Hey, half of my house is working, or hey, we still have to wait for it to move in because things aren't ready. So at least you have that peace of mind.
Because then, because you also have that displacement, right? Wherever you're currently renting, you probably have to extend it, and sometimes that lease is going to be due. So there's a lot of things that factor in. Mm-hmm. And so if you don't have that luxury of being on a month-to-month where you're current renter, then you may just want to buy that home because now, hey, it's already done. It's turnkey. I'm ready to go. Just move in my furniture and I'm good.
And I think we could all agree that convenience, everybody will pay for convenience. Yeah. If you have the ability, like the choice to.
Let's just ask Amazon.
Well, thank you. There's definitely that part of it, and there is just the simple math size. Like, hey, you can get into what you can afford. Yeah. If you can't afford the place that's $50,000 or $100,000 more, well, you're not getting it anyways. Yeah. So you have to just lean into the one that you can afford first, and then you get with it whatever comes along with it. That may mean it's turnkey, may mean it's not. So I think there is a little bit of like a flexibility that's required for people that are, let's say, on the edge of being able to afford or not afford. You're kind of just cornered into there need to be some flexibility. There's not another choice.
Yeah, if you don't have all those financial compensating factors to be able to, pay whatever you want or, have the price point you want, then you're going to have to, come down to whatever, is your reality.
Yeah. And I mean, most of the questions, Andy, when we're doing loans, and I'm glad people are becoming smarter.
Yes.
Getting smarter with this, and so they're understanding leverage and, everything that we do is, surrounded by leverage. The more leverage you can get, the better terms and conditions you'll obtain. So in this case, people are just getting smarter, and so them looking at this side of things and just wanting to get in there, it's like people don't want to do a lot more work right now. The DIY is so famous and popular. It's great. But like Brian brought up, things are a lot more expensive. Things are getting way more expensive. That is just best. Hey, let's just be there already and let's just go in turnkey. Somebody else already did the work. I don't want to do that.
And truthfully, I think the DIY was mostly like a season when we were in COVID, where people were all at home and wanted to do everything themselves. They were stuck seeing things at home. So I understand that at that moment, people wanted to do everything themselves. But now you come back to, what's reality. Everybody's out doing life. You got your family, you got this, you got your job. You don't want to go home and start building stuff if you already had a full 8 hours of work, unless that's your passion. There's people out there that are like that, but most of us aren't.
Well, and if you're handy, I can see people doing that. I think there's a contingency of this, I think too, which is people just being like, "Hey, I'm paying $650,000. I don't want to work on anything.
Exactly.
$650,000. I want to go in that place and it's done. Why am I going to go in and be like
much so that I can put more into it?"
And then
I think it gets worse as you get more expensive. A $900 million, $1.25 million. I definitely don't want to be like, $1.25 million, and I got to dump $100,000 into it. No thanks.
I'm in $1 million now. Shoot, like $1 million.
Right now, let's not forget, most people are working 2 jobs.
Yeah. On top of that,
go there. Go ahead. Go ahead. Say it.
All these things have have a huge impact in all of this. So I believe this. This shouldn't just be, in those states. It goes on right here in California. We see the same thing.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Well, I think that obviously there's some trade-offs people are willing to make, some trade-offs that they're not willing to make. It's always a personal situation, a personal decision. One of the things kind of connected and kind of related to this is that in this year, we're going to start sharing more real case studies of buyers and people refinancing that you guys are talking about on kind of both ends of the conversation of, well, why are you renovating your house? What are you doing? Or why did you buy a turnkey house? So we have more to come on this kind of as its own little category as Brian and Memo share more about case studies of people who are getting into homes and the specificity of what they did, where they bought, what they're doing, and the why and the how, so that all of you out there who are aspiring homeowners can get this outcome that you're looking for.
Yeah. No, perfect.
Yep.